From the PSIA-AASI satellite studios in Corvallis, Oregon, I am George Thomas. You're listening to First Chair, and really excited to be talking with Jeff Krill, who's been out at the Hartford Ski Spectacular in Breckenridge. Uh, Jeff, sounds like a really good start to the season.
Well, it always is. When you talk about the adaptive community, this event is just the kickoff, right? It's early season. A lot of people who attend haven't even been on snow yet. And when you get 600 people together, from all over the country and even around the world too, because we have, participants who are coming here to not only learn to ski, but also to, gain knowledge from all the professionals that are here within the United States, within the Ski Instructor Academy. So that's actually a pretty awesome event all the way around. So there's just so much potential to get yourself kicked off for the season here. And it's just, I absolutely love it. Been coming to it, I don't know, since pretty much like 97, 98, not even lost count now at this point.
So tell us what all goes on during the week.
There's so much opportunity. So there's the Ski Instructor Academy, where individuals from different programs, schools from all over the country come together to gain knowledge from our PSIA-AASI professionals. A bunch of national team members as well. Myself, Ryan Latham were here, and Mike Hafer attended on behalf of the national team. And then there were, ed staff from all the different regions of the country that are here giving clinics on different topics to just get everybody up to date, and also just to get ground level training for a lot of these schools that maybe don't have opportunity to or have that, I guess, that individual that has that level of knowledge, in their area. So it's a really helpful tool to a lot of those smaller schools that are out there, right? So it's more than just, offering a pro level to this. It actually is sort of the thing that gets the knowledge out there as a grassroots level to a lot of the schools around the country.
So it's really a great ski week for people to come out and attend clinics.
Well, it is. And they all have those aha moments. They're like, I never thought about that way, and all of a sudden they're like, why am I making adaptive so difficult? Or what, it's really just skiing is skiing, and the fundamentals are the same. And I've been like trying to look at it and make it different. And then all of a sudden they're enlightened to just how basic it really is when it comes to it's just teaching skiing. Don't make it difficult. Let's look at it from a more basic level. And all of a sudden things open up for them, and they're like, oh my God, I'm looking at like these outriggers are in their hands, for instance, and I keep thinking that they need to ski with them and actually, coach to the body, not to the outrigger, and things like that. So it's pretty cool when you have those moments.
Have you and I ever had a podcast together where we haven't ended up saying, it's just good teaching?
I know I keep really driving that message home. It's an important one to me because I think it is the foundation for it. We shouldn't make things complicated. We try to make them a little more simplistic, if you will.
So, what do you feel is intimidating to some of us about getting in and really trying to become familiar with adaptive or certified in adaptive? Because, like we say, it's just good teaching.
Yeah, I think it's, you take a look at it, and then there's also the I guess the perceived piece around, you're working with somebody that has been possibly broken at one time, or, that you don't understand how the movements are going to be the same. You're used to skiing with your feet, and now you're working with somebody that's sitting down. There's the cognitive intellectual, issues, which there's just different ways that people look at it, and they're fearful to jump in, but it's not really that difficult at the end of the day. If you just take it from a skiing or riding perspective, it's pretty simplistic.
I remember going out with you at National Academy a few years back at Big Sky, and I was in a sit ski, and my feeling was I really would like to become familiar with adaptive teaching and adaptive skiing, but I didn't want to try it because I was so intimidated by the equipment. And I didn't want to try it until I actually got in and could experience what it was like to feel. And I got to tell you, the first couple of runs, I was terrified. And then you made a couple of adjustments to the ski I was in, and all of a sudden it was just skiing, and it really surprised me. I ended up having a lot of fun.
Yeah, when you really started taking the fundamentals that you understood about skiing, and all of a sudden you started to implement them, I was like, wow, this is just skiing. And I think that's one of the scarier parts for people is just there's this unknown to it. But I could say the same thing for myself, being the fact that I'm training manager for an alpine and ride school because I dove into the able-bodied world from a sit ski, and to be able to teach in that world, they realize then all of a sudden when I'm in front of them and speaking to skiing, it doesn't matter that I'm not on my 2 feet, right? That I'm actually understand skiing, and it all blends in and it creates an amazing experience together.
It was funny. I was at Breck a couple of weeks ago for the season kickoff event, and I just remember following you down a number of runs at Breck. There wasn't a whole lot open at the time we were there this in early season, but you're one of my favorite skiers to follow. I love trying to sit in your line and chase you down the hill, and it gives me a whole new perspective on skiing because it's like I really get into following your track. Like I enjoy following snowboarders as well. I think it gives everybody a really good way of seeing the mountain when they follow someone on a different apparatus going down the hill.
Right. And then you realize that the turn shape is just as clean and just as smooth,
Exactly.
and it can be just as elegant, right? It's not lesser. It can be just as good and be very much the same. And it's at a very high level, and it is one of those things that takes time to perfect. Like, it doesn't matter if you're sitting on that ski or you're standing on it or, standing on your board. It doesn't matter what it is.
So, what was kind of a high point from this week? You've been going for almost 20 years. What made this year stand out?
Actually, I think it might have been a conversation that I had with Mike Hafer after this was his first ski spec and actually being a clinician within the instructor academy. And for him, he had worked here at Breck at different times and had witnessed the event from the outside, but had never been an active participant in helping to facilitate it. And for me, he just couldn't believe the dedication that the instructors and the people that come here to be a part of this and here to gain knowledge, and their motivation is so much different than a lot of the clientele that he typically works with. He's like, these people are coming here on a lot of times on their own dime, their own flight, and there's taking vacation time away, and it's not necessarily for their own benefit, because some of these people are professionals, some of them are volunteers, but a lot of them are volunteers, and they're here to gain knowledge to help others. And that was a completely different motivation. And to see that passion for him, I thought was an incredible sort of aha moment. That skiing can be more than it's just about me. It can be about the community and just, making the world better. And I think he just absolutely, fell in love with that. So that was a great conversation for me to have, and for others to be coming in that aren't always a part of the adaptive community, to see how vibrant and how amazing it really can be.
Where do we get more information about this? Because I, I hear it happened, and then it's like, oh my gosh, I missed it again. I've never really seen any pre-event um, publicity. And when does information about Hartford Ski Spectacular become available to the public? Are they making announcements in the summer, or when can people register?
Yeah, because it's run through Move United, it really comes through their website and their different social media outlets. So that's where you see a lot of it. And there is a bit through PSIA-AASI, but it's this event fills out pretty quickly too. So it's one of those, and I mean, we have guys that are coming here from England, BLESMA, the British Limbless Ex-Servicemen's Association. There are people, and they bring 15, 20 different guys over, to learn to ski here because of the quality of instruction they have and the experience that they have. And so it's not just our U.S. veterans and whatnot that we're impacting. We're impacting people around the world. For those that are coming here learning to ski. So and then there's the race camp, and there's other opportunities where people are going to play sled hockey and just be exposed to that, or also to go cross country skiing. So there's a lot of opportunity to just explore winter sport, if you will, being here. And then you also have all the vendors here. You have all the people that actually produce the equipment so that you can really touch it, feel it, talk to them about, why they designed it, how they designed it, and how it's going to best benefit you. So you get a lot of high level, I guess, intelligence around adaptive sport while you're here. A lot that you can be exposed to.
I know Hafer is a hockey player. Please tell me he played sled hockey.
he did not get the chance
He
to. I think
didn't.
he did. Well, here's the thing. I'll tell you what, from the moment you hit go when you're here, you are on. And it's from you're in skiing and riding from the moment you're here in the morning till you finish up at night, because then you go and you want, and people, there's different events that about like the RESNA meeting about lift standards and how that works and affects the adaptive community when it comes to that. So there's constant things and different subclinics that are off snow that happen, let's say at 4 to 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and then next thing you know, it's dinner and it's time to go to bed. And then you're like back up and doing skiing and riding again. It's really cool. And we had, ex-team member Christina Bruno was here too. So, there's a lot of high quality instruction going on.
Yeah, Jeff, I have to apologize. I realize I just made a incredible fashion faux pas. I have mixed narwhals with penguins. I'm just curious, was Melody Buell there? You've got some really star people on the team.
Yeah, wasn't able to make it this year, but she had other commitments that were booked out previously before coming, making it onto the team. And this isn't a requirement to be here. It's just an amazing opportunity to be here. So and it's nice that we can just highlight some of our national team members here as well. The more I can get from either the snowboard side, not just the adaptive side, and also cross country, whatever it may be, our Nordic people, there's just so much opportunity for them to give back also to this group of instructors and just really showcase the high level of skiing and instruction that it can be.
Now, you said at the beginning, and then you just said with Blesma and some other groups, people are actually coming to this to learn how to ski. So you've got people who are never evers that are coming and learning how to ski.
100%. And it actually, for the instructors that come to help out with that, they aren't paid instructors. They come, they sacrifice their vacation time, they pay for their own tickets, and then they are actually, the Move United tries to gain donations of different lodging around the area to offset some costs and whatnot, and then they are here for the week to teach, and they impact a lot of people. A lot of lives are changed because of their dedication to this. So, yeah, they come here to ski, and I will tell you, the programs and the schools that send their coaches here to just to teach for a week, because very rarely do you get to work with, let's say, somebody who has a disability from beginner to advanced for 5 days, advancing them all the way up to maybe an intermediate zone, and to see those advancements in working with that same guest for that period of time. A lot of times it may be a weekend and then a couple are off and then another one, but to have that consistent growth, pretty cool. And a lot of people are able to learn a lot in how they teach and how they adapt things and the different changes that they need to make to the seating and equipment during that week. They learn a lot. And I think even for me, when I was in the Learn to Ski program and helping out with that early on in my coaching career, kind of really jumped off a lot of things to be able to coach at that level.
Can you tell us a little bit about Move United?
Move United is sort of an organizing body, basically, of disabled sports. They're not just involved in skiing. That was where they sort of launched from many, many, many years ago, under skiing. But they've branched. They help organize insurance packages for nonprofits and different organizations around the country. They try to help boost education and knowledge to the different programs that are out there, and it could be through cycling. It's a variety of sports. I mean, it's bocce. It's everything you can even imagine in the sporting world that they're helping programs with, track and field. But of course, at this event, the focus is in around winter sports.
So, Jeff, you're in Colorado right now, getting ready to head back for the season. What are you looking most forward to when you get back to your area?
Well, we got a bunch of rain back in the east, and then it finished with a little bit of snow. So I'm actually looking forward to getting back to some good hard pack. That's going to be fun to like really feel that ski bend and push back against me when I get there. That's always fun to do. But when you're on the road, it's hard, and there's a lot to it, especially being a guy that has to travel with his sit ski. So just to be home for a while and kind of settle into it again, get back to my own school at Loon and training with that group. Those are my friends and a lot of my family, that I consider them, and and take some of the knowledge that I learned here just talking skiing with the group for a whole week here. I'm looking forward to sharing that. I mean, that's part of the reason you do this, is to just keep growing and sharing knowledge with the people that you're exposed to. And yeah, I always look forward to getting back home and course, back to my family, and it's getting to be close to Christmas and holiday time. So, I mean, all those things start to come into it at this point in the season.
Jeff Krill, always a pleasure chatting with you. Looking forward to many more this season.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait. It's a good kickoff to it. So I love this conversation. And yeah, let's continue it on, George.
Thanks very much. From the PSIA-AASI Satellite Studios in Corvallis, Oregon, I'm George Thomas.